Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston. We're your hosts. We're glad you're spending your Sunday morning with us. Whether you're in the car or on the couch, you're always at home with Roby. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com today. Or click on the At Home with Roby tab at WBT.com. Trent, great conversation in the last segment with Joe from Nebraska talking about family businesses. We're joined now by Mike Griffin with the Griffin Brothers Company. I know, Trent, you and Mike do a lot of work together. He's here in Charlotte. Mike, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you. Pleasure
Absolutely.
to be here.
And you guys have a connection with Carolina, right, Trent? Is that?
I think the main work that we do together is him trying to help me work on my golf game.
Trust me,
that's a full-time job.
I know how hard that job is. I've done that.
Yeah, that's how we met, right, Ash?
That's exactly
so something
right.
happened. But, no, Mike and I have become really dear friends. I call Mike a mentor. I'm glad he lets me call him that. Mike and I met a couple years ago, but I had always, without knowing Mike, looked up to him because we're both kind of from the west side of Charlotte. We take a lot of pride in where we're from. He went to west.
It's not kind of. We are from the west side.
Hold on. We are from the west side, and as Joe Beckenhauer just said, we have some pride in that, right?
That's right. Exactly.
So we got some generations in the west side. Mike went to West Meck. I went to Harding. So Mike's family owns some landfills around town, and it's primarily one of their landfills is the landfill that I always drove the dump truck to. So I always wanted to meet Mr. Griffin when I was 17, 18 years old driving the dump truck. So thank you, Mike. Thank you for your friendship and your mentorship.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the business.
Yeah. That was the underlying theme there.
That's right.
I was always giving Mike business. They also own. Mike, tell us a little bit about your family of businesses and what your family does.
Sure. Well, 54 years ago, coming up on 55, my dad started our business in the tire business on West Trade Street called Griffin Brothers. And from that point forward, we really have diversified over the years. We got into construction, demolition, waste business, which we have landfills. We recycle, reprocess, and landfill construction waste. And we have 6 of those in the Carolinas that we own and operate. And then diversified into real estate development. And also we own a golf course, Pine Island Country Club over in northwest Charlotte.
PICC.
There you go.
Right?
PICC.
And Mike has a really snazzy button-down polo shirt on that has his nice Pine Island logo on the sleeve.
I'll tell you, it's a little hidden gem out there. It's a beautiful golf course. I love playing out there.
Thank you,
have
Ashley.
Great greens.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be a part of it, and we grew up out there too, so it's a pleasure to kind of go back in time and reconnect.
That was an interesting story for me when you guys bought the club and redid it. It's a beautiful. We've had Harry Schrader on the show before. Beautiful Harry Schrader designed clubhouse. But what a great story for you guys to grow up on that golf course and then your family kind of take it over and revitalize it and kind of bring it back to what it was in 1968 when it was started, right?
Yeah. 68. We moved out there in 72 when I was in first grade. We moved from Long Creek area to Pine Island. Had a wonderful childhood. As Trent said, went to Chapel Hill, and when I went to Chapel Hill, my family moved away. So coming back, fast forward to 2003, it was fun to get re-engaged with the community and make an investment there. And still, it's a lot of fun to be a part of it.
So I have a Chapel Hill story for you, Mike, about crying. Joe and I were talking about how we cry together. I told this story yesterday. I was talking up Carolina football, and some Clemson guys were bantering with me, and we were talking about could Carolina run with Clemson, and I said, well, Carolina has a trait that I've never seen Carolina football have. I've seen it the last couple of weeks is we turn the throttle on in the game, and we haven't ever been able to do that. And you're a study of Carolina athletics, but the last time we were supposed to be great was 1996. That was my freshman year at Chapel Hill. Chris Keldorf was our quarterback, and I think we were number 3 in the country. Florida State was number 4, and we got to the game at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I said I think the end of the first quarter was 21-0, and I was telling these guys yesterday, pretty tough guys. I was like, and I cried. I said it might have been an intoxicated tear, but I cried. The last time I cried over Carolina athletics. Well, I hope I don't have to cry this year.
I thought that's where he's going. Crying and Carolina football sometimes go together.
They seem to go, especially
this year is a little different.
When your story about your last great year starts with in 1996, you know you've had kind of a bad run of football.
I did say it took 19 years to even have a good feeling again.
True.
But
that's so funny.
So Mike, You take a lot of pride in. You and I always talk about you're in business with your dad and your brother. And your dad's a cat. I've enjoyed getting to know and meeting your dad and your brother. I mean, very similar to me and my brother, and how y'all taken the reins, and he does what he's good at, and you have your roles. So very similar to Travis and I. With that, you are very involved in family business at Keenan Flagler Business School, correct?
True. Yeah. In UNC Chapel Hill, Keenan Flagler Business School has a family center. Cooper Biersack and Steve Miller are great folks that run that, and maybe similar to you with your family business club that you're in, is that it's just a good time to get around people who have similar perhaps challenges and also blessings with being in a family business, and try to hash through all the things that you go through in a family business.
So you're in the process as being a leader in making our business school up in Chapel Hill one of the foremost, if not the foremost?
I think we have that opportunity to become the foremost, but definitely focus in the Southeast. I think there's a tremendous need of a higher institution like UNC Chapel Hill to get engaged with family businesses to help perpetuate them and help enhance them. And you can do a lot of studies, and there's the saying about third generation usually is a generation that can often fail. And a lot of times it's got to do, they don't have enough training and knowledge with how to make sure it succeeds. That's what's really neat to hear your buddy from Nebraska, fifth generation company started.
I mean, how you were here listening to the last segment when he called in. How steady is my man? I mean,
yeah.
You're pretty steady too. So I'm all up and down. I just got to keep the trends. Just got to be.
You're young.
It's all the crying. That's what it is.
The trends got to be a hair higher in the end than where it started. But there's some valleys to get to the mountain peak. But Mike, you also mentor kids in the business master's program at Keenan Flagler, correct?
I do undergrads and MBA students that I have the.
So what kind of specialty?
Especially as far as the type kids? Or?
Yeah. How do any kid that goes to business school, or I kind of teeing you up here, man.
Yeah. The ones that seem to resonate with me are more what I call the brick and mortar family business. I'm not a .com type guy. I'm not a tech type guy, but there's a lot of multi-generation family students that are in Chapel Hill, and those are the ones that resonate with me, and I have a lot of conversations with. It's just fun to hear everybody's stories. They're all similarities. There's obviously in the family business you often have challenges of different personalities and how to navigate through that, and that's I take a lot of fun in learning that. I always typically learn from them too.
And Mike has children, and Mike's children, I mean, are about I guess a 5 to 10 year window ahead of my children, so I'm always asking questions, and it's fun to see his children, and his son plays baseball, and I have a lot of similarities from my childhood with him. It's really cool. I'm excited. You do a great job with your family and your kids.
Yeah. Thank you. I think it's really my wife, and I can speak for Trent. He's got a wonderful wife too, and Reagan. I think our two wives do a great job raising their kids, and it's fun to be a part of it for sure.
Does she dress you?
She should.
Because you look good.
She's actually out of town right now. I had to dress myself this morning.
But she laid it out before she left town, right? It was already hung up in the closet.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, that's
Folks,
good.
If you just if tuning in, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. We're joined by Mike Griffin from the Griffin Brothers companies. It's being around family businesses, being involved with the Andrew Roby company now. It's great to see how you guys give back, and that I think is a common element that weaves through both Trent and Joe, and now you, Mike. You're giving back to UNC Chapel Hill, where you went to school. Trent, you're very involved in Make-A-Wish. That's something I think has to be ingrained in you guys as a kid, right?
I think so. We're so blessed to be in the city of Charlotte, and I probably can speak for Trent in this regard. Our families both have a lot of ambition. Our business has grown a lot over the years, and we're very blessed for that. But it has a lot to do with Charlotte. If we were in a city like Detroit, all of our ambitions couldn't be met because there would be no opportunity. So I think in that said, I'm very passionate, as is Trent, to give back. And my passion has a lot to do with the West Side. I'm involved with the Great Enrichment Program, which serves at-risk kids, and Big Brother, Big Sisters, which is another mentoring type thing. I have kind of a lot of my things revolve around mentoring, so I enjoy that.
No, and that's why I was talking about what you do for Chapel Hill, and I hope that you do hold me accountable to get more involved and help you in your goals up there. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I do want you to talk a little bit about the tire business when we come back.
Sure.
Give you a little promotion. Will you stick around for the next segment?
Be glad to.
All right, thanks, Mike. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about Griffin Brothers Tire and Auto. Stay with us, folks. You're listening to the At Home with Roby show. You can find out more about us at andrewroby.com or call 704-334-5477. Stay with us. We'll be right back.